Welcome to the show tonight. We have a new one because the door is open. And that means that we have the Creative Universe Checkpoint Earth presenting Union News. The door is open. Your twin flame present from the divine Vortex. All right, all right. The real twin flame work happens on the inside, and then it will guaranteed manifest outside. In this series of lives, I share about what that means for my union consciousness process to inspire you to find yours. It serves as the source for your daily twin flame news or almost daily. Today on the show, we have The Door is Open, your twin flame present from the divine vortex. Yeah, that is because I did make a year program and the door is open. You can enter now. You can see the whole offer explained and my bio and what the course is about and the 3 options that you have to choose from to step into it and the 24 chapters of theory and workbook that you can do, what it leads to. What does it lead to that we central in this course have the almost weekly call together in Zoom in which we open the heart and go deeper in twin flame inner work, in love, in divine love. What that all means is explained to you, and there's a lot more to find out, such as a sweet quiz that you can do there when you go to that page. And I will put it in the comments section below in the pinned comment, and it will also be in the just the box under this video that unfolds when you look at the title of this video, and then you see also 3 dots and you can click on it and then something unfolds, and that's the box under the video. Always that holds a lot of information that can help you and has all kinds of links to click. And seeing this program Twin Flame Abundance Now as a button you can click, as a link you can click, is one of those things that can be done there. Then you can read all about it. So that door is open and you've got some time, some weeks to opt in. And the Tuesday group is going to be filled now until we have 9 people or until it is August 8th. On 8/8, the door closes again. Now, maybe you want to know more about that, ask questions about it, and generally have a good time while you take in some leading edge information about Twin Flame Union. And that's possible real soon too. And that is going to be the webinar. So get your schedules out and make a note on Saturday, June the 21st, because then I will give another webinar for you. Very limited seats for you. So make sure that when I will have the link that you opt in, because otherwise it will be filled and you can't be there and you want to, because I will share information in the webinar that I don't share anywhere else. And you can ask questions about the program of which the door has opened right now as well. So that's a great way to get to do that too. Ask questions about the program or whatever you want to ask. And the webinar will be about the 2 major problems that people have on their twin flame journey and how to attack that problem and make it undone. How about that? Because have you got a twin flame that has another one of those problems that will attack? And what about the twin flame that stopped communicating with you? We'll apply some beautiful healing on that as well, right in the webinar. So stay tuned and find the link, because then you can be there on Saturday, the 21st of June. So today we are going to talk about your twin flame is the present from the divine vortex. And that's truly so, because I don't make such programs and open doors and present webinars for you to go into a program that leads to some bullshittery or some nonsense that is not valuable and doesn't come true and whatnot. No, it leads to you sinking into healing work that makes your twin flame come forward for you definitively and sustainably, because it is the present that is here for you, given to you by the divine vortex. It's a present from the universe. It's a gift. You can only open yourself to receive it, and that's all. But we're not really used to that, and that's why you step into our world with such a program as Twin Flame Abundance now. But yeah, today we'll talk about that it is really a present. It's a gift. And you're like stupid when you don't claim it, right? That's really, I guess, what we'll talk about. We'll start to talk about that, and then we'll see where it goes. Because as always, we'll start with some wisdom and some ACIM and so forth. Some cards. So yeah, settle in. Get your drink, your cup of tea or something, and let's see where this leads us to today. So let me know where you are watching from. I would love to know also when this is a recording. And add a heart as a reaction to this video when you desire union. Or maybe you want to give it a flame, the emoticon flame or the word flame, because you want to have the consciousness state of harmonious union, and you call that in by commenting that much more than you already did. So that's why I ask you to do that. And yeah, as you know, that's what it is all about, the consciousness state of harmonious union, because that's where your true twin flame will come to you. That's where you know that it is them. That's where they stay. That's where they don't run off. That's where it's really enjoyable. That's where it's at. And you've never been told this at other places, but that's really the truth of the matter. And I just decided that I will tell you that. Just be upfront about that that's really what it is all about. The twin flame union consciousness wisdom of the day is this. Your twin flame is your deepest mirror in your hearts and also in your divine love. And isn't that interesting to ponder? Your twin flame is your deepest mirror in your hearts and also your divine love. Because that's what you often experience. Like, they ran away and that hurt me so deeply. It's like the deepest pain I ever experienced. That's what you'll say. And I know because I also experienced these things, these moments of feeling abandoned. But that just means that they triggered inside of you the abandonment hurt that already was inside of you. And you can now rejoice in the fact that it came up, came out of you to experience. So that being experienced finally, it can now start to leave you. That's what the twin flame will do for you, not against you. And you know that it also brings you, they also bring you divine love. There is this incredible, sometimes overwhelming because you're not used to it and you haven't integrated it yet, feeling of a full heart, a satisfied heart, a fulfilled feeling, fulfilled being without any like circumstances that necessarily need to be fulfilled for that. It's just in and of itself. Fulfilled feeling that is unconditional. And that's that divine love. And somehow that is also accessible when you are dealing with the true twin flame. And that's your deepest love. And although we often say that we don't like the first one and we do like the second one, they actually come together because the twin flame opens up both. They open up the cathartic, maybe you could say, experiences, the hurt that was already inside of you so that it can come out, so that you can be in contact with the deep divine love. And that's like not a connection that people usually make. When you really let in what that says, when you really let that inform you about what twin flame union and the love that it entails actually is about, then you enter another space. Another attunement comes into you. And that is the consciousness change that it alludes to. And I think it has also a lot to do with the title for today, Your Twin Flame Present from the Divine Vortex. Because, well, the Divine Vortex sort of implies that there is like this feeling of being in a perpetually moving spiral that in a way like makes you dizzy, but also brings you in a sort of a trance and also makes you like anchored in something different than you were before, perhaps. And that's true. That is the divine vortex. And you enter into this spiraling experience of feeling that you are, well, like experiencing hurts that was first within you that starts to come out so that it can be experienced in its completion, so that it can start to leave you, so that you then are released of that part that was not aligned with your divine love that you actually are. And then you fall deeper into that divine love and you feel the bliss of it. And then you integrate that part, and on and on and on. More times you go through that, and you go through it, and you go through that. And that can also maybe be experienced as a form of like being in a cycle, in a spiral of going deeper and deeper in this divine vortex of love. And when you do that, you allow that, you actually allow that by doing the correct twin flame inner work. That's where you'll end up, so called. You will at a certain point experience that. The true twin flame is experiencing that with you. They're already right next to you, going through the same movements, in their own way, but essentially connected to you because they're your twin flame. So they can't do anything else. And when you won't experience that with this person or something, then they're not your twin flame, which is not bad. Just means that your true twin flame is still out there for you and will embody everything that you do desire, that your heart truly desires. So never worry about that. So let's have a look at the ACIM lesson for today, because that means A Course in Miracles. And as you may know, twin flame union means you need to go to union consciousness. And this book, A Course in Miracles, leads you to union consciousness. That's what this method is for. So that's where it fits in. And today we have lesson 160, and it says, I am at home. Fear is the stranger here. Fear is a stranger to the ways of love. Identify with fear and you will be a stranger to yourself. And thus you are unknown to you. What is yourself remains an alien to the part of you which thinks that it is real, but different from yourself. Who could be sane in such a circumstance? Who but a madman could believe that what he is not and judge against himself? There is a stranger in our midst who comes from an idea so foreign to the truth he speaks a different language, looks upon a world truth does not know, and understands what truth regards as senseless. Stranger yet, he does not recognize to whom he comes, and yet maintains his home belongs to him, while he is alien now, who is at home. And yet, how easy it would be to say, this is my home, here I belong, and I will not leave because a madman says I must. What reason is there for not saying this? What could the reason be except that you had asked this stranger in to take your place and let you be a stranger to yourself? No one would let himself be dispossessed so needlessly, unless he thought there were another home more suited to his tastes. So there's more to this lesson. You can find it in the complete lesson link, and that link will be in the show notes. So it's always good to realize that this show that I make always has show notes, and it holds all the texts and links and many more resources. And you can always find it a little bit after the show is over on my Patreon. You can become the second tier Patreon member that can unlock these posts and read them. Very beautiful, because it just gives you this little bit of a startup for learning something about union consciousness, what it is all about, and you need for a successful twin flame journey. So I thought it was beautiful to do it like that, a gift for you. So that's why I organized this Patreon like that, to give you the show notes, and you can support my work. And you'd really want that, because that means that you are actually starting to invest in your own journey and give to Divine Mother through my opportunities online. And that'll serve you. It serves the coming together of your twin flame union. So that's really cool. And I also make how do you say that? Like how do you say that? I make secret videos that appear there with information that is out nowhere else. And I also give second tier members the opportunity to have certain offers from my services and whatnot for you, for huge deals that I never give anywhere else. So that's like an extra fun thing I thought that I was going to give to my Patreon. So, yeah, please have a look there, right? There's a link to this Patreon simply below this video in the pinned post or in the description box. And you can check it out. And the new show notes will be posted right after this video. And I think this segment of A Course in Miracles, I Am at Home, Fear is the Stranger Here, really is about that. Well, that's also what I experienced in my union consciousness journey, that fear does not belong in you, in your union. It does not belong in what it really all is about. And to make that come true is really a huge shift of consciousness. And it has all a lot to do with the fact that fear is not at home in your twin flame union. And that's really literal. And for me, that was a long journey to learn that, what the heck that meant, and how the heck to let that go, because it really means that you need to shift away from, well, essentially from the entire world that you knew that was drenched with fear, and go to a really different place. And the question comes up, so what's my home? Is my home really the world with all its ups and downs, and where I'm afraid and where I think that fear is so normal to me? Or is my true home actually somewhere else? Is it in my divine consciousness, perhaps? And that I then will live in the world, because apparently I am here, but I'm not rooted here. I'm rooted in that divine consciousness instead. Can you see that that is something else? And that is more conform what you need for a twin flame union, and that is union consciousness. And this whole process, the inner work that you need to do, will lead to that realization. And that's what this text is about. That's what lesson 160 is about, according to me, right? So that's really cool, really cool. You know, while I speak about it, something shifts already again. And yeah, I just need to say yes to that all the time. And you as well. So that's just beautiful. That's beautiful. And that just made me thirsty. So let me get a sip of water. There we go. Emphasizing again that we do live in the world, because I got thirsty, right? But that's because my body is in the world. But my core anchored somewhere else, and that's the union consciousness. And that just makes the experience in the world really different. It makes the experience in the world being with your twin flame and joyful and healthy and sane and wealthy. just abundance. That's what it is about. Yeah, I think I'm personally also at a point, at like a crucial point, after my harmonious twin flame union, consciousness shift of letting in more abundance, because I just keep on going deeper. So that's what will happen to you too. You just keep on going deeper in, well, the experience of letting the abundance in. And that's a whole beautiful, well, sort of sub journey that will like come to you when you make it to the first stage of like, well, the harmonious twin flame union consciousness state that it's all about. So yeah, let's get to another section, and that will be a segment of one of my books. So I have, I use sometimes A Course in Miracles, but I have written my own books, and they are a reflection of everything that came to me and helped me on my journey and was downloaded by me as part of what I'm supposed to pass on. And I just opened it as if it was an oracle, and this was what came out: creative universe and universal creativity. Every creation is the result of a creative process, whether that is the imperfect condition of your current situation, your desire for more money and the perfect goods, or the descent of your soul love in the form of your ultimate life and business partner. The flow of creation streams from value towards incarnation. That is what my work is about, the journey from uncovering those core essence of values towards becoming true. Creativity is the pathway here. Creativity is the inherent power of life that everyone possesses, not only artists or members of the creative sector. It is about growing self worth, not the standalone willpower that runs ahead only, but the eternal, concrete, and peaceful baseline of yourself that includes willpower. Self value that grows and becomes more available by finding and honoring the stream of creativity within yourself. What I experience and see around me is the challenge thereof, the unhealthiness of the distance we uphold from that place, and the resistance we have to traveling that distance to get closer. In others, there is a huge longing to learn something that is creative and represents value that makes their wish for a meaningful and fulfilled life come true. But how? That was from the Emerald Itinerary. And it is on page 186 in the paper book Twin Flames Manifesting Your Abundant Life of Love, written by me. You can get it via Amazon. Yeah, go to Amazon and look for my name, and you'll find it. And you can buy it. It has a normal book price, so no problems there. Creative Universe, that's the name of, well, it is the name of the group of things that I do online, right? But it also means that it is connected to the universe as a creative source that is expressing divine love. That's what it's truly about. So, creativity, you can see in that light, it is meant in that light as the movement of that love from that divine source to you, and from you to the world. And the you is your union, not your individual you alone. How about that? And I do see a huge longing for that in the people around me, but there is this huge question of how, because people really don't know how. They really don't. And that's what like moves me to be present on the internet. That's what moves me to make a program that you can enter right now, such as Twin Flame Abundance Now, because people don't know how. And even when I tell them, and even when I say it time and again, and even when I have a Facebook group, which I do, in which I give it away, the how, and I explain it over and over and over in videos, in posts, in downloads, in pictures, in texts, over and over from this angle and from that angle, and with an introduction and with a whole introduction course, and then I make you make the step to the real inner work that twin flames need to do. And no matter how much I do that, people still don't know how to do it, because even though the information is right in front of them, they need to be guided towards it and through it and towards the end goal, which is the consciousness shift, so that you can make come true your twin flame union permanently. So people they usually keep on being stuck at that they don't know how, because it's really different than what they're used to. So no matter how many times I say it, it's so different. They need to be brought there, and that's okay. That's normal. That's why I'm here. That's why that's why I offer services and programs, right? Yeah, so I think that this relates to the idea of your twin flame is a present from the divine vortex, because the creative universe is this place where you are the fullness of what you are. You just need to learn the how and actually do it, of how to bring that forward. And the true full you is you are a twin flame. And that just comes forward as a present, so that it is worth it to do this inner work, to excavate this how for yourself. It's worth it because you will get your twin flame, and you will have the romance of eternity, and you will have the partnership that your heart longs for. It's like there's like a built-in reward for the fact that it is so different to do this inner work that you can't understand it all the time. And yet, when you finally do it and let yourself be guided there will be a huge reward. It's a present from the universe, and it's truly yours. And it's everything that you always wanted. And that's including the sense of you shifting and changing, transforming. When you open your inner heart more and more, you get to know more and more what it actually means to you, what lies actually inside of it as desires. Because that will be, for most of us, really also like an unpacking of the present, which brings surprise after surprise. So it does answer everything that your heart longs for. But that's not always the same as what you set out to want to have upfront, because what you made a list of upfront might be just your ego speaking and not your true self. But the journey with these techniques that are the how, and truly doing it under guidance, will give you answer to what your heart truly longs for. Not what your ego thought you were longing for, because that might just be a more restricted version of what you actually are. It's much more vast and beautiful and loving what you're truly getting. because it will fit you like a glove. And that's just the understatement of the century, because it truly does fit you beyond belief. And at the end of the day, your twin flame is only part of the present that will be given you, because there's so much more that the universe wants to give you. And you'll receive it together with your twin flame. They will be just by your side when you both receive everything. That's what it will be like. So let's have a look in the oracle cards of today, because I did make the manifest union and mission cards, and we'll look into the booklet. I feel this one. So here it is. That's like a series of planets and the sun, traveling from not working aspects to the purified version of that. The coach from shadows and what? The 2.2. So this card really means that you're traveling towards better and better versions, which also means that it is a form of a spiral, our solar system. This is like one level of where the divine vortex is, because it is a divine vortex. And you could see that when you follow the true twin flame inner work, you hop from one lesson to the next one that is deeper, to the next one that is deeper, twin flame inner work that is deeper, to twin flame inner work that is deeper. And that's how you go deeper in the spiral that is the divine vortex, where you will find your true twin flame beside you, and you will see that the abundance starts to come to both of you. That's what will happen when you do the actual correct inner work in the actual divine vortex, right? Where your twin flame resides, they must. And you could see that the whole planetary system that we live inside of with the earth, the earth is like, is such a divine vortex, like on a certain physical level. And that whole solar system is in the bigger system, that's Laniakea. And on the earth there's also like vortexes, and you are a vortex with your energy field, and all of this are just actually like physical outer symbols. Well, it's real, but like physically real, which is not per se divinely real at the core, because that's just union. That's the reality of God. All these vortexes are like learning devices in the physical world to make you aware of the one of the union consciousness. So they represent the idea of the divine vortex. But in a sense, they are not the divine vortex. They are just outer representations of the inner divine vortex. What about that? But anyway, let's still have a look at the meaning of this card. And let me read the union text, and then there will also be a text about Twin Flame Mission, and I will put that in the show notes on Patreon. Guidance Through the Journey is the title of this card. Goodbye, Milky Way, sings Enigma in one of their songs. And you see before your mind's eye an astronaut floating through space, through the Milky Way, and then further than that, further than the known. This is where you are now. At this map, you are on your way from what does not work anymore to new areas, new inspiration, new social networks, and new feelings. The unknown is scary. huge and incomprehensible and still attractive compared to where you come from or are still standing in with one leg. This journeying position you now take is not pleasant per se, but also not unpleasant. You know what you leave behind, and that did not work anymore. In our solar system, there are many planets, and the happy taste of each one of them, their energy, we can experience to get to know ourselves better. After that, we will travel to another experience and culmination points. Not being afraid of the valleys of experience as well, and taking them in fully just as much causes a thorough parting and a guaranteed good start in the next vacation on your new planet. Now you know from your own experience a life lesson that is important to you completely. This can now never be taken away from you anymore. And when you hit that rock bottom, your soul will forever update it with this info so that you until eternity are done with this particular lesson. Be thankful and remain calm. While moving along your journey, you will arrive at your next planet automatically. You are having an overview of certain fields of life that you have gone through on your twin flame journey. You are now able to benefit from those processed experiences, and it gives you an increased intuition of what could come next for your union. Do not, however, stay in the trap of projection. The chance this comes onto your path is big. Attuning well to the actual source led union process will bring their next stage inside automatically. So these were from the Manifest Union and Mission cards. I used an old version that was published, and it can be seen on my website as well under the page of publications. I am making a new improved version, and I'm sure you will be able to see it real soon. So let's have a closer look at the theme for today. Well, never been so thirsty during an episode of the show. So, what does that mean? I think I'm very thirsty for going deeper in the twin flame journey, going deeper in union consciousness where I already am. So, that's my place. That's where I am. I want to go deeper. I want to go to the next level in my abundance receiving. And it just makes me so thirsty. All right, then. Well, I guess it's good to be thirsty when you are, because everything has a reason. Your twin flame is a present from the divine vortex, just like water is when you're thirsty, just like thirst is. Thirst is maybe just the real presence, because it makes you desire, it makes you long, it makes you open up for the flow of water. And that's just like, it's the divine vortex that gives you your twin flame. Is that it? Is a twin flame it? Is the divine vortex it? No, maybe it's your desire for it in your heart, the deep longing in your soul. That is the real thing. And then it just, when you follow that, you let it in, this thirst for it. you just automatically go deeper in the divine vortex. And when you truly go deep in the divine vortex, your true twin flame must come forward as a present, and actually as like a law, a universal law, that they will appear right next to you while you travel there, while you keep on being open for your true soul thirst and let yourself be fed by the abundance of God. You just will experience that they will start to travel or like float in space. You could almost maybe say, float in space next to you, as though you both are astronauts in the divine vortex of the universe. You'll just start to float next to each other because that's a universal law. There is nothing else as sure as that. And when they don't, it's not your twin flame, which isn't bad, because only the true twin flame gives you everything that your heart truly desires. And that's no mistake, and that's not an undue statement. It's just the truth. And it's the true twin flame that your heart is longing for, no matter how you look at it, or bend it, or try to see it. It's only the true twin flame that unlocks that true union experience and that true abundance that starts to flow to you and through you, through your union, through the core of your union. You're just part of it. You just unlock this experience that you were always partnered up already. And now you just become aware of it. And you invite it in your space, in your daily life, in your actual physical reality, in your actual social reality. And that brings just this whole shift in how your daily life is ordered and stuff. And that brings other results. So maybe you were very poor before, and now you will be kind of abundant, right? In your specific way that fits uniquely you in your union. That's what'll happen. That's your twin flame is a present from the divine vortex. It's actually nothing special, but it is a present, a gift. It's gifted you when you are attuned correctly, when you are allowing yourself to float in the divine space and not worry about how that looks or what's going on, or try to control it with your ego anymore. And that's the lesson, that's the challenge, that's the difficulty, to allow that, to go there and stay there. But when you're there, once you're there, you shifted consciousness. You shifted from separation consciousness, separated from your twin flame, remember, to union consciousness, in union with your twin flame, after all. That's a huge difference. Even though at the beginning it seems like your body is still your body and things may look still the same a little bit, but on the inside, everything has changed. Very different attitude, very different process you're in, very different heart feeling, very different inner peace, very different anchor you put out into a very different source. That changes everything, and you'll start to be this floating astronaut in a divine vortex, and your twin flame will float next to you, and it'll float next to you closer and closer the more you let it concretely in. That's the process. It's a presence from the universe, from the divine vortex. It's just a gift that is already given. You just unlock this experience, and there it is. And when you're there, it actually becomes so normal, and then you're like, wow, I start to integrate this high frequency, this beautiful floating as an astronaut here. And I'm not excited about it anymore. I'm not fearful anymore. It's just something that completely envelops me and in which I feel at home. And I can't understand anymore why I didn't do that earlier, or what kind of life that was. What the heck was that? Feeling restricted, feeling away from them, feeling away from my own truth. What the heck was that? That was strange. And then you see that it was so normal in that old life to say no to the present of divine love, to say no to the gift of the divine vortex. You just said no to the twin flame because you said no to the truth of yourself. You said no to the core of your union. You said no to the eternal truth of the architecture of the universe and God, which is the same. And you see that it's so stupid to say no to what already is true. But now you have, conscious that you did say no once. And because you became conscious of where you said no and how you said no, even though at the time you had no idea that was what you were doing. And because you became conscious of the no, was able to let go of the no and process it until it started to disappear, and therefore you came into the area of the yes, of what was already true. That's why you're now floating here with your twin flame, and you can say yes to that more and more concretely to each other, and make of this floating composition that you do inside the divine vortex together your new life. And you say yes to that, and that's your marriage. So that really made me thirsty again. I think I'm just thirsty for that, for making that, for like tying it off, making it concrete. That's in my union consciousness life. Floating there, making it concrete, I guess. That made me thirsty again. So I guess that's where I'm at, make it concrete. That'll be my next step. Well, I think that that sneeze, these two twin flame sneezes just came out to me as the answer to, like, is that what I'm doing now? Well, that was it. That was a yes. That's where I'm at now. That was very concrete. Thank you, sneezing gods. Oh gosh, what an episode we have today. And it's so funny that a lot of the times, like the things that happen by accident are just seem to be what it is all about. And that's also like a big pointer to how the journey will go for you, because it goes for me like that as well, because it is really that which happens because it bubbles up in life is the material to go deeper with inside your twin flame journey, that gives you the result of going to the next stage, that brings you closer to your harmonious twin flame union and the physical living of that. It's always that which like bubbles up in the now, that is like sort of kind of by accident really here, that gives you the material, that gives you the pointer, that makes you go deeper, that will be a successful new step. It's never what my ego thought out or planned out. That should be it. That is it. Although you can order your time, although you can even make use of an energetic strategy that aligns you better with the whole process. It's There are ways to order and align and and strategize even, and I teach them in the Twin Flame Abundance Now year course that has the doors open right now. So there you go. By the way, yes, you can go to the link to look at the offer. But I also will be giving a webinar on Saturday, June the 21st, at which we go deeper about this whole topic, but also you get the chance to ask questions about that program should you want to. So there you go. Put it in your schedule. You can follow a program, my program, which is pretty organized. But at the same time, inside that program, we're going to work with what spontaneously bubbles up in you in the moment. And that gives us the most information how you can go deeper now and reach the next step towards your twin flame success. It's not what your ego figures out. It's not what, like, your mask, your social mask in the world that you might have developed earlier in life fantasizes that life is about, that is like floating around as a fantasy. It's much closer home than that. It's what you're overlooking while you are fantasizing about fantasies. It's coming home in your true self. And that is always present in the now with all the most silly things that happen. And it is in how you experience that and from where you experience that. That's where the clue lies towards twin flame success. I choose now to explore the most complete depths of my being. I surrender my mind completely to God that He may bring it into perfect harmony with His. I invite God now into my very core that He may make it right, returning it perfectly to its state of eternal wholeness. I trust in the power of divine love. I choose to see the truth that it is universally accepted by all. At the core of every child of God, including me, we're all one with our twin flames and God. It is safe for me to open completely to love now. My love. Love is not elusive unless you command it so. But don't worry, you could not choose against love itself because you are love itself, manifest as you eternally. If you command it to leave, love does not leave because it cannot possibly leave. But you can leave love by the power of your command. And by that same power, you can command yourself to return to love. And it is so revealing to you that love never left. It is safe to let go. It is safe to relax into love's eternal presence. Love is calling you home, and I'll be there waiting. I have always been here with you, and I always will be. Your next step. Don't forget to actually start the process and jump on the team. Actively come to our community, start doing the correct inner work, and ask the support you deserve through our services so that we can start a relationship that will lead to harmonious union and beyond. When you are not in the relationship, you're not on the team, and you can't expect the results that I'm speaking of and in fact guaranteeing. Currently, you're cordially invited to step into the group year course experience. This is the Twin Flame Mystery School you have been waiting for. I'm looking for 9 people to step into this abundant opportunity. Twin Flame Abundance Now has opened its doors. Start giving so that you can receive. The door closes as soon as I have my 9 people that will be successful in their journey. But first, we have many festivities together. And right now, we are at the brink of having a Twin Flame webinar at Saturday, June the 21st. And that will be visible already at tinyurl.com/twinflameunion solutions webinar. And you can check out the Twin Flame Gear Group course at creativeuniverse.earth/abundance now. The show notes. You can support this ongoing live Twin Flame news as such as well. Make it possible as co-creator. Without your participation and financial gifts, I cannot do anything because we need to have an energetic and verbal visual exchange for things to make sense and to know what I need to talk about for you. And also, we're on Earth, and it necessarily always works with money as a means to make sacred content actually physically flow. Therefore, I post the show notes in Patreon. Come over and enjoy. Have influence on the broadcasts. Don't miss out on the behind the scenes experience. Patreon.com/PEJ at Creative Universe. This month's Patreon subscriber action is I have a very special service. It has brought a student in the consciousness state of Harmonious Twin Flame Union 2 weeks after having undergone it. It is a bringing together of everything that my method offers in a compact and focused way. When you feel ready to truly go in now, this might be for you. Normally, this currently costs €444 ex VAT for people that are not regular students inside the year group course Twin Flame Abundance Now, and half that price for those inside of it. The special deal is that anyone can now go for half the price for those that are second tier Patreon members. Don't forget that you can share this show with a friend. If you enjoyed it, they might too. I am Petra, in the consciousness state of Harmonious Twin Flame Union since March 2020. Worked with the new Christ Masters on Earth right now to roll this consciousness state out so everyone can enjoy the abundant life with their true twin flames soon enough after going in with me right here. Don't search any further. You reached what you were looking for. Om. Amen.